Hey guys, what's up? Quick video for you today. So since my last video, been wanting to come out and do a little more cooking, and I really wanted to do some type of backpacker-friendly recipe for a sandwich. Essentially, because we're in Florida, I wanted to come out and make a Cuban sandwich. Now, on the off chance you don't know what a traditional Cuban sandwich is, it starts with roast pork, ham, mustard, pickles, Swiss cheese on Cuban bread. And some places in some regions, they add salami. They consider that traditional. I like salami, so I'll be doing that today as well. So the first roadblock I ran into was the roast pork portion of this recipe. So because it's a backpacker recipe, I don't want to have any ingredients that require refrigeration. And that's a big problem with pork products, especially when you're talking about things like roast pork. So I looked at different ways to come out and create my own roast pork for this recipe. But once again, those things that I would have to bring out to make the roast pork required refrigeration. So that option was kind of off the table. So I started looking at alternatives to roast pork for the recipe. I looked at different canned meats like Spam and some other things like that, Vienna sausages and such. But I really want to avoid canned goods for these types of backpacking recipes. Maybe that'll change in the future, but right now I'm trying to go no canned goods. So the other thing is that everything has to be found in your basic grocery store. So for me, I just went to Publix, figured out what I could get to maybe kind of try to make this work, and that's what I did. So with all that said, let me show you what I got to make this traditional Cuban sandwich today. All right. So my day pack today is a Cafaro Urban Ruck. It's 22, 25 liters, something like that. So good, for little day trips. But once again, this recipe is supposed to be meant, for backpacking. So your first day on the trail, second, third day, all of this should be fine for that type of scenario. So right out of the gate is the Cuban bread. So I went to the store, I bought some, and I just cut off a big portion for a pretty big sandwich today. Cuban bread is outstanding, especially I'm lucky enough to live in Tampa. They make it locally, so that's awesome. I also have my Swiss cheese in here. Once again, I already had it at home, but if you were hitting the store prior to the trail, just grab a whole bunch of it and you should be fine. Now, in the warmer months, your Swiss cheese, or cheese in general, some of the softer cheeses melt. Sometimes they get gooey, runny. They do like this weird, gross sweating thing, but they're still fine to eat, and it's not a big deal. Today, it's in like the 50s right now, so I shouldn't worry about that. And honestly, if I was doing an overnighter or a few days on the trail, I still would not be concerned at all. Okay, so right out of the gate, since I couldn't come up with any decent alternatives for roast pork for this sandwich, I started thinking what types of meat alternatives would still be awesome. And I settled on prosciutto. Prosciutto obviously is nothing really like roast pork that you would find on a Cuban sandwich, but it is good. I think it's a high-end meat. It's still going to be delicious, and if I have to have an alternative, I may as well go with something awesome. So prosciutto. So ham was another one that was a little bit of an issue since, going back to pork products needing refrigeration. But I did find this at Publix, which is, it's called country ham. It's a salt cured ham. It's, freeze dried, whatever. And it says on the package that it does not require refrigeration. So I thought that would be good for this. Let's take a look at it. So it looks pretty good right out of the gate. Now I did read some things online that even with salt cured pork products, sometimes there's still some bacteria lingering. So I think I might just flash fry this real quick to get rid of anything that still might be lingering in the meat, just to make sure it's safe. Once again, I'm sure it's fine, but I don't like having GI problems, so I'm just going to flash fry it and be 100% sure it's safe. So I also mentioned salami. Much like the prosciutto, I went with this, and it's just Milano dried salami Milano. So I don't know, I'm sure it's really good. I should also say none of this stuff was cheap. Like with my last video, that was a very, very cheap meal. I have another one in mind for possibly next week that's going to be a really cheap meal. This is not it. So each one of these packs is like $4. The salt cured ham was like $4. You know, cheese is whatever, and bread's like $1 or $2, whatever. Everything said and done after taxes is probably gonna be like a $20 sandwich. So it had better be good for, you know, that. But once again, you know, money's not a big deal if it's fun, right? For the mustard portion of the sandwich, super simple. Just little packs of mustard. Pretty much get them anywhere. Good for your sandwich. Easy. No refrigeration. Good to go. And so the last ingredient with this meal is obviously going to be the pickles. And because, you know, it's meant to be a backpacker recipe, you can't come out with a whole freaking jar of pickles. I mean, I guess you could come out with a whole freaking jar of pickles if that's your jam. But I just went with one of these simple, big old dill pickles. Figured I'll slice it up and put it on the sandwich, call it a day. It's probably going to be pretty good. So that's it. That's the entire ingredients for the sandwich for today. I got a few other things to do. I got to get a fire going. I am going to make an attempt to press this sandwich to make it a hot sandwich. I don't know how that's going to go, but we're going to see. And either way, I'm sure it's still going to be good. Once again, it better be for being like a $20 sandwich. All right, so I think that's going to about do it for fire prep. I ended up processing very little wood for the fire. There's been a lot of storms lately, and there's just a lot of deadfall around here. So I figured I would go ahead and use a bunch of that now. A lot of it's pretty punky, it's turning, and really is pretty garbage as far as firewood goes. But I figured, you know, I may as well burn it. You know, I'm just doing a quick cooking fire, and it'll kind of clean up this area a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and burn it. You know, I have some good stuff to burn as well. I'm not burning all crap wood. It's just more of a base camp cleanup type thing. So what else can I tell you? I made so for my press, what I'm going to try to do is I found that oak log that was already kind of split, and once again, it's pretty punky already, but it had some flat spots already cut into it, so it was minimal work with creating that. And you know, it doesn't have to burn; it just has to heat up enough. You know, maybe smolder a little bit. You know how punkwood smolders, right? To be able to press the sandwich. So at least that's what I'm hoping. Hopefully this doesn't burst into flames and, you know, ruin my my whole thing. But I don't know. We're gonna try it out. You know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, who cares? Should work. Mustard patina, right? Real outdoorsmen don't leave mustard on their knives. Just saying. Yeah. Those are good. I've never bought one of those big pickles before, but it's good. I like pickles. What's left? Let's get to some meat. That's thick. That is super thick. Well, whatever. Let's just throw it on. I'm pretty sure that's like already ready to go. Once it came out of the package, it was pretty obvious that you know, that was cooked and not gonna be an issue. But figure whatever. Still heat it up. Yeah, man, it is sizzling. Nice. So that'll be good. So we'll put the ham directly on the Swiss cheese. That'll help the cheese start melting, and then put everything else together. I think we're pretty much to that level of coals. Like, I don't need cooking coals. I just need, like I said, to heat up the makeshift press thing I'm doing, and without burning it. And I think we're right about there. So let's get the rest of this together. So I got the sandwich loaded up. I just kind of want to taste this while it's still hot. Well, that's the best ham I've ever had. Right out of the gate. It is salty, man. Wow. That is real. Ooh, dip it in some of this pickle juice. The pack was like $4 or $5. This one piece is worth $4 or $5 in my opinion. That is really good. It was super salty though. All right, so the idea is I put that split log flat side down, and so the flat side is heating up. I'm just gonna leave it on there for like a minute or two, or until I feel like it's done. And the idea is to sandwich a sandwich in between the two of them to press it. So I got high hopes. Let's see. All right, so it's done as much as it's gonna get, I think. So you can see a lot of char marks, which was expected, but it looks pretty good. You know, meat's nice and toasted. Wanted the cheese to be a little more meltier, but that's all right. Anyway, let's see what it tastes like. That ham got tough. Maybe it's that piece of fat. Let's go for round two. Round two. There's a big old pickle there. Well, it's really good. The ham is too tough though, but the sandwich itself is really good. It's totally missing the roast pork part, but the ham flavor, mustard and pickles makes up for it. That's usually what I taste mostly on my sandwiches anyway. At least that's what I thought. Apparently I am missing the pork, but looks good, tastes good. That ham's just really tough. Maybe because I heat it up, I don't know. This is a fat kid sandwich right here. Well, either way, ham's tough. The sandwich is still really, really good. It pretty much tastes just like a Cuban. And that was a fun process, making it, you know, trying out the press thing. I'm gonna think a little more on that, see if I can come up with a better way, because it kind of just, you know, charred the outside, didn't really heat up the inside too much. It's not cold. It's definitely warm, but it's not like hot. So seems like maybe less heat for longer might do the trick. So that might be press, take off for a while, press, take off for a while. I don't know. Something to play with if I feel like doing this again. And if not, I'll have this video and fond memories of this really, really good $20 sandwich. My $20 bushcraft backpacking hiking sandwich. So good. So good. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.